Hello lovely people.
Hello.
Welcome to the next twin video. Still nervous, but excited. We're slowly moving towards the excitement phase.
Yeah, we actually got out Rupert's old baby clothes. We had to find the like really teeny or tiny ones.
Yeah.
Because when we got his clothes, you know, they're like, we recommend bringing like 5 baby suits or whatever to the hospital. And then you had to rush off and go to like buy emergency like premature baby clothes because he wasn't premature, but he was pretty small. I mean, well, he was 7 pounds, which is not that small. We have a few tiny clothes, but not. We definitely need to get more because if we make it to full term, that's 36 weeks. They'll definitely be smaller than Rupert was.
Who knows? They could be 7.
What?
Big babies happen.
Who knows, yeah. And genes are funny, like, you know, sometimes you get like one small brother, one big brother.
Yeah, I mean, I was 9.5 pounds and my brother was 10.5 pounds. I'm the small kid in my family.
I think me and my sister came out similar sized. I don't know, I can't really remember. I don't remember.
She doesn't remember her birth. It's a good thing because she came out blue.
I did, came out with my the cord wrapped around my neck.
Fun facts that you learn about us. Today's video, we're actually answering some twin questions that you asked in the community tab here on my YouTube channel and also on our Instagram at Jessie and Claude, where you can go and follow us. The link's in the description down below.
And where we hope to like post, well I say we hope, we plan,
we
hope and will post more baby preparation content and Montessori, how we do Montessori with twins. That's kind of like, actually if anyone has any ideas of those, I'd be really thankful.
Yeah, there are some questions. Let's dive into these questions. Firstly, number 1, how happy was Rupert when you told him you were having twins?
He was very, very happy.
Blissful.
He kind of
so delighted.
I mean, he knew he was saying that there were 2 babies in there before we even confirmed that.
It was the
anything.
eggs, to be honest. It was the eggs. If you've seen our like fertility journey, getting pregnant video, you will know that we were having this thing where every time we cracked open an egg, there were like two yolks inside.
And and then we had oranges that had little baby oranges. And he keeps mentioning like, it's so funny about those oranges. We haven't had oranges with baby oranges again. I'm like, yeah, it's really funny.
We should have known identical twins were coming.
He's already named them.
Yeah, I think it's great because he's been quite set on a name for a while. So I know we did a video where we were like looking at names, but he's quite set on a name.
Also, he really like poo-poos some of the names that we suggest, like really like fast, that we're like, oh.
But it does mean this way we at least get to name the other one. So, and he stays happy. The one thing that he is a little disappointed about, I would say, is that we are not going to Malaysia this year to celebrate.
I mean, to be honest, I'm disappointed about that.
Me too.
It's like 1 degree here today. It's because 1, we're pregnant with a high-risk pregnancy, and we have to have scans every 2 weeks, and 3, we've got no money. So how would we afford to fly there? Because we spent everything on our fertility.
Yeah. Luckily, we got a 2-for-1.
Very much hope. I am doing hope plan, definitely.
Hope plan.
Everything is very up in the air at the moment.
Definitely.
But we want to go next January or next year at least, because the twins will be like, what, 6-7 months, which is like a nice little age to travel. We can get like little bassinets at the front, and Rupert had his own little seat.
It's very
I think we'll be able to manage it. But
as you know, traveling with little ones means staying connected is a must, whether it's sharing updates with family or finding the nearest baby supplies. And that's where Saily, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. Saily is an eSIM service that lets you get affordable international data without swapping out your physical SIM card.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I know. So you don't have to do the annoying thing with trying to find a tiny pin.
Or what was even worse was when you just had one of those scratch cards and you have to put in like some like 20-digit code.
All you have to do is download it, then you buy a plan, then you install an eSIM, and then boom, you're online. There's no stress. And there are no hidden fees. And the best part is you can even set it up before we leave home, so we are ready for the moment we land.
That is good. Then it avoids all those awkward moments where you're just basically like contactless.
I know, it's just really not great.
And like, well,
I can imagine a lot of panicking situations. The 2 of us and 3 children.
Yes.
Just use code Jessica for 15% off data plans and see how simple travel data can be. One of the most asked questions, how's Claudia doing?
Well, that is nice that is the most asked one, to be honest, isn't it? Oh, because you want to be included.
No.
You went, I feel actually like remarkably fine so far. Like in my first trimester, I was really tired, like silly.
She's just trying to get a little bit of attention while she still can.
In the first trimester, I was really tired. I was like, we got to like 3-4 p.m. and I was like just really flat, and I was going to bed at like 9.
So different.
Well, I feel like I've got a little bit more. I definitely feel like I've got more energy.
You just walked up the stairs and then sat. Said, Jessica, I can't. Go upstairs for me.
Maybe I'm just more used to the tiredness, you know?
Yeah, I think you just got used to
Maybe
it now.
That's what it is, yeah. I've got enough. I'm getting further away from my baseline that I don't know what that was anymore. I can't wear any of my like normal clothes anymore. Like I've had to like wear my old maternity leggings and things like that.
Fortunately, you didn't have morning sickness with Rupert, and you haven't this time either.
I had like a couple of waves of nauseousness in like sort of week 8, 9.
Yeah, it seems to be more that you react to a smell.
Yeah, it was smells, wasn't it?
Rather than just like you wake up feeling.
Yeah, but I'm less bothered by smells now as well.
We did have a theory last night, didn't we, that if you have had fertility hormones and been on a lot of like fertility drugs for a while, that your body's probably quite used to the sensation of.
Yeah, we were like, wonder if that makes
fake pregnant.
It'll be interesting to know whether people who've had assisted fertility, is there a significant difference there with the amount of people who have morning sickness?
Interesting. Please share your experiences.
I'm sure there's been a study. Right, this question is, since they're identical, what's your plan for telling them apart in the early days? Colour coding? We did think we wouldn't dress them like, I mean, obviously we are going to dress them the same sometimes because that's kind of quite cute.
Yeah. I know it's wrong. I mean, it's not wrong. I know it's not advised, and obviously it's very important that identical twins are very much their own people and they should be treated as individuals.
I think we've decided
obviously we would be very much
when we have said like, but when we wear the same thing, it'll probably be like they both wear the same little white baby grow, but then on top of it they have like a separate coloured cardigan. They're like, one's in a yellow cardigan and one's in a white cardigan or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I had 3 children of different ages, I would still have like everyone wears blue for this party we're going to, or everyone wears red for this Christmas event.
But no, we're gonna, in terms of telling them apart, we thought, we read that apparently people keep their tags on them for a little bit, but then I feel like you just have to keep reading the tag, and that's going to take a bit of a while to like work out who they are.
See, I read in the local Twins and Multiples Facebook group that you can get really nice little like woven bracelets on Etsy, and they're different colours, so you just glance at the colour.
Yeah, I was going to say like a ribbon or something that's safe, that's baby safe, that ties around their wrist or something.
It's like, it stretches.
When you say like, how are you going to tell them apart in the early days? I don't think we really need to.
Okay.
Because we want to get them on the same schedule, so when one feeds, the other one is going to feed.
I mean, but then when do we decide which one is named what? What, they're just...
That's true.
What? How are you feeling about the physical side of taking care of 2 babies plus Rupert at the same time in the near future? If I remember correctly, before Rupert, Jessica worked with a professional to get her strength up. Yes, I did.
Now you're like, oh yeah, I'll probably do that again.
I think being a parent to a toddler, I guess you're not actually allowed to call him a toddler now. He doesn't let me.
Yeah, he said this morning he's a boy. But then we found a video from when he was 18 months, and you went, oh, you're not a baby anymore, you're a toddler, and you went, I child. That was his 18 months.
I child.
But
I think being a parent to
you are already a bit
physically
stronger.
Yeah, like you have to. There's so much.
Crouching down, picking them up, sitting on the floor, like bending over to like help them pull up their trousers. Like,
let me just.
I would say though, like
to something.
My peak physical fitness, I think, was like when Rupert was.
In your life.
I don't know my life, but like was like actually probably like 6 to 12 months of Rupert's life.
Oh god, yeah, when he's really hefty.
When he was like, you have to carry them around most of the time, but they're quite big. And I'd fully recovered from my C-section. I was still breastfeeding, so like my calories were kind of like going, like it wasn't like, you know, and I felt
like your calories are just being turned into pure muscle.
Yeah, and then I was doing weightlifting every day.
Oh yeah.
So I felt like I was quite toned and fit then. And then obviously as he got older and insisted he was no longer a baby.
Don't carry me.
Yeah, he's a kiddo. Then like my arms got like a little bit like flabbier, like my legs got a little bit weaker. I've personally like not like given it like loads of thought as much because about like the like logistics of like carrying them around and stuff, because like I think it's still quite new that we're having twins, and it's still quite new that we're even like pregnant.
I'm still trying to get over the fact we're not having triplets.
Exactly, like
nervousness / hope / like, oh, there's just so many feelings. I don't know if we've even like, I don't know if I've really considered even yet the actual like practical day-to-day stuff, other than taking Rupert to school is the one thing we seem to focus on a lot.
Actual existing
thing we do
need of a child that we care for.
Yeah.
So, although saying that, Jessica has also thought about how she would like to learn to drive.
That's not what I got excited about. But yes, I am. I'm going to learn to drive.
Because I won't be able to drive for like minimum 6 weeks postpartum, but I might not be able to drive before as well because I might just be so big and uncomfortable. And at the moment, the main mode of transport we get Rupert to school is driving, because I can't really cycle anymore. I can cycle. I could probably get on a bike.
You're not getting on a bike.
It's just not very safe, and Jessica doesn't want me to.
It snowed here 2 days ago.
Yeah.
There's still
and
snow on the ground.
And we live on a hill.
We live on a hill.
Yeah.
High risk pregnancy with our baby on
and
the
I have
back.
I have fallen off my bike twice.
Yes. All of these people here agree with me. Everyone here watching is like, yeah.
Anyway, my point is that Jessica is going to learn to drive.
I am.
She's going to attempt to learn to drive.
But I think the difficulty for me is if I don't do something repeatedly, very frequently, it's very hard for me to retain that information and learn it. So I think what I need to do is an intensive driving course where I drive every single day.
I mean, in theory, it's great, but
I will need to
dedicate. Those lessons you were having a year ago were 2-hour lessons, and you like came home with a migraine every time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I will be exhausted.
Right, let's move on.
As you will have a young person and 2 newborn twins, will you be getting a nanny of sorts to help? And if so, will you get one that's Montessori trained over a standard nanny? Okay, that's a really great question, and we will definitely make a longer video about that goes into more of our thoughts on it. But I think in brief,
we already have off and on had a bit of help with Rupert, like a couple of afternoons a week, because he's at school in the mornings, and sometimes we've had, not necessarily Montessori trained, because he's already at Montessori school, but people who understand our parenting philosophy and style and like respect that. So we've always selected people who have the qualities that we like, you know, respecting autonomy, are quite calm and gentle.
A lot of what he does at school is very much like the work of Montessori, and it's not a school that's like Montessori in name only. It is a very traditional Montessori school, so it's good for him. And he is quite young, like he's 3.5. It's good for him to in the afternoons have much more like free play and just go to the library,
go to the playground.
And yeah,
when the twins come, Rupert will probably maybe just about be starting doing a full school day, or he will be in September. But I think we'll have like someone, we'll continue with the person who's looking after him now, to just continue like a couple of afternoons. And we are also thinking quite strongly about getting a night nanny, which I think for a singleton, I was like, and when I was with Rupert, I was like, oh, what a luxury, you know, people who have like a night nanny. But now I'm like, yeah, that sounds completely reasonable, and like, definitely something that's going to keep my sanity. So yeah, I think we're just trying to be a bit more realistic, and if we've got it in place to have a night nanny for like 1 or 2 nights, just for the first like 4 to 6 weeks, I think it'll just be like a bit of a, I think it'll just be so, I think I've read so many.
We'll be better people.
Yeah, we can be better parents for everybody.
Does Montessori parenting look different with twins?
I mean,
I'll come back in a year and a half.
Jessica's desperately trying to find any information on this.
Yes, I assume so. We do want to continue to do some of the things that we did with Rupert, like having a floor bed and like floor time and all of these things.
I think floor bed is not that. I think you're like getting all like, oh, how do we do floor bed? But I think you just put the mattresses on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Initially, they can't do much other than like roll off a bit.
That's true.
And then like when they do get
They'll learn which side is theirs.
Yeah, and then when they get more, because the whole point is we put Rupert on when he was like 6 months on the floor bed pretty much.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't really actually that mobile. And then once they're actually old enough to like crawl off their floor bed, they're not at risk of like, they can go crawl into each other's bed if they want and sleep together.
Sure. That's true.
I
mean, I guess you know how to like work out which is which and put them back on their bed.
You put them in coloured sleep bags.
Hey!
We'll get one.
We're gonna colour coordinate their beds and their bags.
And all their bags will have like, you know, an
A, B
or whatever, a B, yeah, whatever
if
initials.
We name our babies A and B.
We did actually have some names that were A and B for a little while.
We did. We
Then
did think
Rupert
about
poo-pooed
that.
Are there any pregnancy and parenting lessons both of you learned from Rupert that you'd probably approach differently for the twins?
I did more tummy time.
You would want to do more tummy time.
Yeah.
Rupert was really not good on the tummy time. He just didn't like it. So
Rupert's a special that kid didn't learn to sit up till he was 11.5 months. So I think we should be more proactive with the next ones rather than being like, they'll learn to do that.
I don't know, I think I feel like we took him out, like we didn't hold him lots, we gave him lots of like floor time, because I would imagine like sometimes maybe you hold your first baby too much and the second time like you try not to. But I feel like we were okay with that. I don't know, like it's just like, I'm sure all these things will come back to us more whilst we're living through it.
Yeah, I wrote down every month what Rupert's had like achieved milestones wise, or what he was struggling with, so that we could look back on it.
I know.
With our second baby.
I kept a sleep diary where I've basically written like what my aim was for that week, like feed at this time, wake, nappy change, feed like, and then wake up, you know, and then like actually what the reality was. So it was like, I know it's like looks really sweet because it's like, oh, managed to actually hit my goals this night. Next night, oh, hit my goals again. I think he's making progress.
Well.
I might even be able to sleep through the night by next week, and then it's like, woke up 5 times like.
We've hit a developmental leap. Great. He says words, he does not sleep.
But what we did do with Rupert was we were really strict with routine, like, and Jessica like printed out weekly schedules every week. So I think we'll just do that again. I mean, we will definitely do that again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing that I liked about how with Rupert was that at the very start when he was teeny tiny, we did just keep him in the house for a month.
Yeah.
We didn't go anywhere with him. We didn't take him to anywhere noisy. Anyway, lots of people.
I mean, that was partly because I couldn't move.
That too.
And you can't drive. So we were kind of stuck here anyway.
Yeah,
it was a choice.
It was like a Chinese confinement type of thing.
I was desperate to get out and walk around the park.
Yeah, and you did it too soon.
No blood. But yeah, at least the twins are going to be born in spring and like similar time to Rupert, and the weather was nice and you can like go out into the garden. Yeah,
I can take them around in a buggy. It's fine. But I think that having that time really helped Rupert be like a very calm.
I think I might like, I mean, because we're having 2, we might have 3 children was our like ultimate family goal.
Yes.
I think I might be a little bit more like, you know, I was like, oh, you know, I didn't spend too much time holding Rupert.
Yeah.
I think I might be a bit like,
my last baby.
Yeah. So I feel like I might want to just be one of those like crunchy mummies that like has her baby in a sling attached to her at all times around the kitchen, you know, as I'm cooking and stuff.
I highly doubt that. You have like quite a low tolerance for being touched.
No, they're just like all sleeping and stuff. Oh.
No, that's a really sweet idea.
So one can have the floor,
super sweet.
and then they get their independent Montessori time, because one is like, but then they should meant to be on the same schedule. So if one's having active floor time and one's just sleeping on me, then that's mucking everything up. We'll think more on this.
We'll get back to you. Do you think there will be differences between how you've raised Rupert and how you will raise the twins, just because there are 2 of them?
I'd like to think not. I like to think we have raised Rupert like in the way that we both trust is the best way.
Yeah.
Everything will be different because every child has a different experience. Yeah, it's like living in a different time period and everything. But like, but I'd like to think we treat them the same way that we did with Rupert. I think
part of Montessori parenting and our style of parenting is very much following the child and seeing what they like and what works for them and doing that. I think it would be more difficult having 3 children to make sure that everyone's needs are met. So if there are like 2 of them that need to run off steam and use energy, and oh my god, we've got to take them to soft play, that's it, that's the only, it's freezing cold outside. And then there's one that's like, no, that's too much for me, and only one parent is available, then it may be harder, but perhaps we could just make sure that one's got some headphones and a sticker book.
I think we just treat everything fair, so it's like we just do it, explain, well, two of them want to do this right now, I understand that's disappointing to you. So I don't think it would change the way we do parenting, because that is our style of parenting. It's very much just like following the child and acknowledging when they're annoyed.
But we would make sure that everyone has their like extracurriculars that they like, and that the twins are individuals and they don't have to go to the same thing because one of them wants to do a sport, so they both have to do the sport or something. what are your plans for room distribution for the 3 kids? I don't think we've even decided what we're going to do here. But we'll find out more about this in a later video, for sure.
This is why these kind of questions are
more
good.
videos, it's good that you're asking. Thank you. We're thinking about this now. That's good.
Well, the first 6 months I'll sleep in our room. Today, like you said, like I stopped and was like, can I get my phone? It's upstairs. But yeah, I don't know, we'll just see. But then there's an ensuite up there, and it's a bigger bedroom, so there's more space. So we'll just see, like, because maybe I'll be alright. We slept up there okay when Rupert was born, and I had just had a C-section and stuff, and I wasn't like stuck up there. If anything, it might have helped my recovery going up and down the stairs a little bit. Yeah.
But we are going to have to do something.
And then as they get older, it will be like the Rupert will have his own room, and the twins will share a room.
The only other room is this room, which is my studio/office. Which is the second biggest bedroom in the house, which is where they will both be, and then my studio/office will...
You could film at the end of our bed, but then I don't like having everything, all the equipment and lights.
There are actually lights stuck in the ceiling of this room. We'll make it work.
We have thought we might try and build like a home office in the garden, like and do a film studio in there.
Yes, so maybe I will be at the end of the garden.
But we have enough space in our current house to make it work, and so we don't have to panic about that.
And finally, as a twist in your series on awkward and bad taste questions, what questions do you enjoy answering? What does positive curiosity about your family look like? Oh, that's a really cute question. I like that one. I think it's always nice when people are like, oh, are you mummy and mama? Are you both mummy?
I like other kind of questions. I like ones where I know our answers can have an impact in terms of helping other people who have fertility, or who are going through the fertility journey, or in our recent case maybe have had a loss, or are pregnant with twins, or have an unexpected pregnancy. I think if giving information about that, but in a positive, helpful, educational way, I like answering those sort of things as well.
Yeah, I think as long as it's to do with us, like our togetherness as a family, I like it. I just like questions that make us are seen as us like coming apart, especially in front of Rupert. Like we did get asked, like, oh, will they be siblings? Are they the same? Are they from the same
It's amazing how many
batch?
people ask right in
front. Are they the same DNA? Are they the same genetics? And this was in front of Rupert.
Yeah, I've had lots of people
repeatedly, and I was not answering because I'm like.
We've had lots of people, including doctors,
so
it's not even just like people who are like fertility doctors as well, or neonate doctors and things like that, saying, oh, so is he your baby? I'm like, and like Rupert's just sitting there like, what?
These are my parents?
It's like that I'm their baby, you know?
If you're a doctor and you want to know for medical reasons, use terms that are going to go over the head of a 3-year-old.
Also, we've had
use complex medical terms, and we can answer in those terms.
Also, we have
he's
like
not going to understand.
family friends saying at a dinner table with Rupert just sat there, so it's not even like he's distracted and playing. It's like he's literally just sat there listening, and they've been like, "Oh, so have you used the same donor?" Like, and like I feel like they think he won't know, but like he asks so many questions, and then whatever our response is like I just want to like shut it down, because I'm like, one, I feel like it's a little bit like, why does it matter? Like I don't, but people seem so interested in like. First of all, with the first pregnancy, so interested with the donor information, and then unless it's like helping other people who are going through it, fair enough, and you have like questions. But if it's just out of like
curiosity,
nosiness, then it's like. But then with the second one, it's like, oh, are you using the same donor? Like, are they going to be 100% genetically related? And I feel like when people ask those kind of questions,
you see the relationship that Rupert and I have, and it's not.
Yeah, and I think it makes you think like, does our answer dictate how you're then gonna respond to our family?
I think that's my real issue as well. Is like, is there an answer that I give you here, whether it's the truth or not? Like, if I tell you, then are you going to now look at these children differently and treat them differently, and is that going to have an impact here?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't love it. Don't love it.
But on that note, I've got to go to my pregnancy yoga.
I was super cheerful, yeah.
Rupert said hello to the babies this morning.
He
saw my naked belly as I was getting dressed. He was like, "Hi, babies."
He asked to kiss them the other day.
I know, it was very sweet. But anyway, I gotta go.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Have fun. And of course, thank you to Saley for sponsoring today's video. Remember to use code Jessica for 15% off data plans. 15%. My goodness. To see how simple your travel data can be. And if you liked Claudia's t-shirt, remember you can get one just like it in my lovely merch store. Simply click the link in the description.